7992.
Okay, Ahmad, so you went into my backyard.
Yeah, open the door and I see who the residents were. 3 times. Nobody.
Get off my property.
What did you say?
Get off my property.
Get off your property?
Get off my property now.
Okay, that's how you're gonna do it?
Get off my property.
Can I show some ID? Show me some ID.
No, get off of my property. You just illegally entered my backyard.
Entered.
Yes, you. He then comes closer to me, and I tell him, "Don't come closer to me. Get off my property right now. I need your ID." Did you cannot come into my backyard? Back up. I need you to back up. Back up. Back up. You're coming closer to me. Look how close you are to me.
Put your finger down.
Back up. Call your supervisor over here.
No more, fear less. This is ID Refusal Exposed.
After Officer Ahmed did not get a response at the front door, he decided to go around to the left side of my house, open a closed gate that is approximately 70 feet away from my front door, and enter my backyard. Unfortunately, I did not have a security camera pointed directly at the gate at the time, but several of my family members and friends saw him enter my backyard, and as you'll see coming up, Officer Ahmed admits to it. As soon as I became aware that law enforcement was on my property, I immediately began recording and met the officer outside.
Hey, what are you doing?
This encounter began on Memorial Day in Suffolk County, New York. According to the homeowner, police responded to a complaint about loud music during a backyard gathering. After receiving no answer at the front door, the officer acknowledged entering the backyard through a closed gate. That decision immediately became the center of the dispute, with the homeowner insisting the officer had crossed a private property boundary without legal justification.
So we came in for the loud music. The neighbors complaining. It's too loud, you know. You have something can you lower it down a little, or? Because I saw that these are too huge. You know?
Did you go in my backyard?
Yeah, I'll knock on the door. I'll ring you 3 times. Nobody's there. You don't even.
What is your name and badge number?
Officer Ahmad 7992.
Okay, Ahmad. So you went into my backyard.
Yeah, open the door and I see who the residents were. 3 times. Nobody.
Get off my property.
What did you say?
Get off my property.
Get off your property?
Get off my property now.
Okay, that's how you're gonna do it?
Get off my property.
Can I show some ID? Show me some ID.
No, get off of my property. You just illegally entered my backyard.
Entered.
Yes, you did. You cannot come into my backyard. Back up. I need you to back up. Back up. Back up. You're coming closer to me. Look how close you are to me.
Put your finger down.
Back up. Call your supervisor over here.
Yeah, my supervisor's gonna come in a second.
Call your supervisor.
Yeah,
Back up. Back up. You are on my property. You are on my property.
You have your ID with you or no?
You're on my property.
What's your name?
You're on my property.
What's your name?
Call your supervisor here.
Yeah, I'm here for a reason.
Call your supervisor here.
What's your first and last name?
Call your supervisor over here.
Are you gonna give me your first and last name or no?
Call your supervisor over here.
He's gonna come. You have your ID with you or no?
I haven't broken the law.
You haven't broken the law?
I have not broken the law, no. And unless you better figure out who you're talking to, because I know the law and you went into my backyard. We have a problem. Get off of my property right now.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Get off of my property.
I'm calling the supervisor. I'm coming back right now.
Great.
Stay
Get off my property. No, I'm going to escort you off my property.
You can't escort me.
I can escort you off my property. This is my property. You need to get off of my property immediately.
Back up.
Do not touch me. Do not touch me. What is wrong with you? Back off of my property. Back off. Back off my property.
Playing loud music.
You are trespassing. You are trespassing. You are trespassing. You are trespassing. Yes. You see the sign says no trespassing?
Yeah.
You are trespassing on my property and you went behind my closed gate. So you are trespassing.
It's open.
It's not an open gate. No, it's not. It self-closes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it has a lock on it. It's clearly intended to enclosed in a manner. Do you know the law? Enclosed in a manner. Yeah. Get off the property. Yep. How dare you come into my property?
Ask you for it.
Police department, open up! Come out with your hands up! Show me your hands!
I haven't broken any law. Get off my... You are breaking the law. You are breaking the law. You are trespassing. You are trespassing. Get off of my property. I am telling you. I'm ordering you off of my property. I'm ordering you off of my property. Get off of my property. I haven't broken the law. You, officer, are breaking the law.
Okay.
You couldn't even hear my music from outside. Couldn't even hear it. It's all on video.
Okay.
It was on, right? When I came out, right? Yeah, take down whatever license plate you want, but you need to get off my property. Get off my property right now.
Put your hand down, guy.
Don't touch me. Do not touch me. What is wrong with you? Get off of my property. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. I'm not touching you, but you keep putting your hands on me. Are you kidding me?
You're walking into it.
Because I'm escorting you off of my
You're
property.
not escorting me anywhere.
Get
And I'll be
off
back
of
if
my
I see
property.
one.
Yeah, get your supervisor over here. How dare you? How dare you? And I will still stand here. How dare he push me on my property? This is my property. Get off.
At this point, several legal issues overlap. An officer may ask for identification during many encounters, but an ID request is not automatically the same as a legal requirement. Whether someone must identify themselves depends on the applicable law and the circumstances. Another important question is whether this remained a consensual conversation or became a detention supported by legal justification. The homeowner also argues the officer crossed into a fenced backyard after receiving no answer at the front door. Property boundaries can raise important Fourth Amendment questions, but the complete legal analysis depends on facts that are not fully established in this video, including body camera footage and the officer's observations. Because those facts remain disputed, this encounter should be viewed as an allegation under review, rather than a final legal conclusion.
No, there was an officer that came to my home, and I need to speak right now, yeah. He left, and I came here, and I need to speak to a supervisor about the conduct of the officer.
Do you have your ID?
No, I'm not gonna give my ID right now. I just want to speak to somebody.
All right, I'll be with you shortly.
Thanks, appreciate it. Yep, no problem.
One eternity later.
Hey, how are you? Hey, how you doing? What was your name?
My name is Sergeant Cromer. It's K-R-O-M-E-R.
Okay, my name is Sean Paul Reyes. I'm here to speak with you regarding an officer that just came to my home,
Okay.
Officer Ahmed.
What happened?
So he came to my home and I was inside. We were having a Memorial Day barbecue, had some friends and family over,
Okay.
just enjoying the day. And my wife and her friends came running inside to me, terrified because a police officer apparently was in my backyard.
He was inside your backyard?
In
the backyard?
In the backyard, yeah.
Okay.
He came into my backyard. So I came out the front because apparently they had told me he left the backyard already.
Okay.
So I went to the front of the house, saw him by the front porch, and I said, "What are you doing coming into my backyard?" He admitted that he allegedly tried to knock on the door, and then he went into the backyard. I said, "Well, what gave you probable cause, and do you have a warrant to enter my backyard?" And he said, "No, I just went into your backyard. Don't come into my backyard. You don't have a warrant." He became very combative with me. Obviously, I'm just trying to tell him to get off of my property at that point. He says, "I need to see your ID." And I'm like, no, I haven't broken any laws.
Okay.
You have no decibel range, or there's nothing going on here that's illegal. We could have had a conversation. But now he's like, "Let me see your ID." I'm like, "You're not getting my ID. You need to get off my property immediately."
Okay.
He then comes closer to me, and I tell him, "Don't come closer to me. Get off my property right now. I need your ID. I need your ID." Becoming very combative with me. And then he eventually starts leaving. So I was like, "I'm going to escort you." He's like, "You stay where you are." And I said, "No, I'm going to escort you off of my property. You need to get off of my property."
Okay.
He then stops, comes closer to me again, pushes me. He pushes me several times in my chest. And then when I'm telling him, I'm pointing this way, "Get off of my property right now. Just get off of my property. There's no laws being broken here." He smacks my hand. So
Were you guys really close at this point?
well, yeah, because he kept coming. He didn't want to leave the
You're
property.
obviously very, you obviously,
Right.
when you talk with your hands.
Right. And I was like,
You
"Get
went
off the
with your
property."
hands.
Right. And he
Did you feel,
I have no
maybe
idea what he
like
felt. I have no idea what he felt. But what he should have been feeling was the pavement off of my property. I mean, he should have just gotten off the property and it wouldn't have been an issue. Like, I'm just telling him, go over
I'm
there,
sure he was trying to
leave my
make sure
property.
everything was okay.
Well,
obviously there was.
Well,
you
listen,
guys weren't
I
coming-
love.
you weren't able to speak to each
I
other
understand
for
that.
whatever reason.
I understand, and I love the cop splaining you're doing right now. But a law enforcement officer, your supervisor, and I'm just letting you know, a law enforcement officer came into my backyard. At least that's what he told me. I have to check my cameras.
Okay.
A law enforcement officer came into my backyard without a warrant, without probable cause of any crime, and then pushed me several times while I'm telling him to get off of my property. I don't care what you're investigating. He's not investigating a crime. That's not a crime. So when I tell him to get off my property as a property owner, I pay way too much money to the Suffolk County Police Department and to the town of Brookhaven to have somebody who's on my property that I pay for, a public servant. When I tell him to get off, he needs to get off immediately. Not lollygag, not push me.
If he's not going to.
But he didn't have any other reasonable suspicion to suspect there was a
If I'm
crime.
going up and I'm knocking at a door, I get a report of loud music.
Right,
I'm
and
knocking
that's
at
it.
the door, I got no answer, nothing's going on. I see cars are there, but I don't see anybody answering. I look around, take a peek. Did he peek into the yard? Did he walk in?
Again, I don't know exactly how it went in.
I have somebody.
He told me,
to
my knowledge, I haven't seen the video camera footage yet. I came straight here. Okay. But to my knowledge, he told me he went into my backyard. And based on the reports of my family members and friends, they told me he went into the backyard. Okay. So I will have the video of it. But again, I'll have the video of it.
If he pops his head into the yard, he sees everything's okay, then he walks right back to the front.
Well, he's not supposed to be opening my gate. He's not supposed to be opening my gate.
Conversation with you.
But there's no crime taking place at that point. Right, but there's no crime taking place, officer. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Sergeant. There's no crime being taken place.
He's trying to figure that out, okay? He doesn't know what's going on. Right now, if your music was too loud, going against town ordinances, I don't know. Okay?
Right.
I wasn't there.
Right. And he wouldn't have known.
Obviously, you have a neighbor or somebody in the
neighbor is the least. Listen, it is what it is. If a neighbor wants to be, listen, that's fine. If a neighbor wants to be annoying on Memorial Day about me, listen, there's plenty of space. That's fine. They could do that, and I'll take it up with I'll have a conversation with them, and I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Come to you first? They probably should have.
Probably, right? But law enforcement ended up coming to me first, and then coming into my backyard. That's what I was told, and then putting his hands on me and pushing me.
Into your yard. The only thing with that, and I have to check the body camera footage.
Right.
Is if he came up to you, put his hands up on you for no reason, okay, that's something that I'm going to have to deal with in my office. But if while he's sitting there having an interview with you, and he felt that you were entering his personal space, and he's keeping you,
but he's on my property. No, he could just leave.
And then I see how with your hands,
right?
You're talking. If you're right in here, you're raising your hand, and he's keeping your hand away.
Couldn't he just leave the property if he was so scared or felt threatened?
If he was trying to figure out what's going on, we can't just always just vacate something if we feel threatened or scared, if we're still trying to figure out.
Your feelings have nothing to do with my property. Like, it's just my property.
So he was trying to get to.
Like, I just wanted him off of the property.
He was probably trying to have a conversation with you.
Well, no, because I was not yet. It was never going to have a conversation with me once you entered in my backyard, okay? There was never going to be a conversation.
Okay, so right away,
there was never going to be.
Not going to have a conversation.
Well, no, the only conversation I wanted to have with him was get off of my property, and he should have complied, because that's the law.
You were entering that conversation, you started that conversation off.
Because a member of law enforcement entered in my property, yes. I was. I just want him to leave.
Would this have gotten better if you just, the music wasn't?
Would have gotten better if he just didn't go in my backyard? Yep,
okay,
you're right. It would have.
Hey, I'm getting a report of loud music. Sorry, the music wasn't that loud.
Right.
I apologize or whatever. I don't know why a neighbor would have called that in.
Right. Okay? I don't know either.
He's allowed to ask you for ID. You're allowed to say no, which you did.
Right.
Okay. Did he force you to give him ID?
No, he told me. He said he was going to come back and enforce me. I'm going to go get my supervisor and I'll be back here. But again, there should be no reason why he's putting his hands on me.
He asked you for ID. You didn't give it to him. You told him no. He didn't force you to give ID.
No, he did not force me.
He took down license plates because this is public view. He's allowed to take down license plates.
But this is private property, and I told him to get off multiple. I gave him multiple. So does trespassing? Officer, does the trespass? Let me ask you something, Sergeant. Does the trespassing law apply to members of law enforcement? Does the trespassing law apply to them?
You told him to leave your property. Okay,
multiple times, right?
Okay, multiple times. He was trying to figure out what was going on. Okay, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like he was trying.
So you're telling me that law enforcement, Suffolk County Police, are above the trespass law?
You don't give him ID.
I don't have to.
You don't. I'm just saying.
Right.
You don't give him ID. He was asking. You don't. And I'm guessing that it was clear at that point, or that maybe the music wasn't as loud as.
Encounters like this often improve when both sides slow the situation down. If an officer believes additional investigation is necessary, clearly explaining the purpose of the contact can reduce confusion. If the property owner believes the officer has exceeded lawful authority, remaining calm, continuing to record, and avoiding unnecessary physical proximity usually creates the strongest record for any later complaint. Disagreements over legal authority are often resolved more effectively through documentation, supervisors, and the courts than through escalating a confrontation in the moment.
You can do that.
Yeah.
What were you looking at?
I wanted to let you. I want to put in a complaint, but it seems to me, I just whether you want to investigate on your own. I don't know how this works internally. Right. Look at the body camera footage. Right.
And then if I see anything that was done wrong, it's something that I'm going to have to follow up with this officer on.
Right.
But something that I suggest you do, call internal affairs.
I will. I'll go there. Yeah.
I'm
not. Hop 4th precinct, right?
Hopog is.
That's where they're at, right?
It's by. Yes, it's part of the.
Yeah. Okay.
Over in Hopog. Do you have their information?
No, I have it. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me again. I'm
not trying to.
It seems like you kind of minimize it a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it seems like everything I'm telling you, you're just like, but maybe this, but maybe that.
I'm giving you an explanation for things, okay, based on what a reasonable officer would be going through.
All right. Well, we can make the determination whether it's reasonable after the video.
I'm going to have to watch his body camera.
Right.
See, because if there's anything egregious or anything that he did wrong, it's something that I'm going to have to deal with.
Okay.
Okay. But
All
I
right.
can't just go off of just what you're saying.
All right.
Okay?
No, of course not.
I'm going to have to do that as well.
Of course not. Yeah, I'm just giving you my side of it, and I will. Do you have a card where I can email you the video footage so you can have it?
Yes, I can get you some.
Okay.
I don't have a card, but I can
Something
write
where I
down
can.
my information in my email.
Okay. Yeah, so I can send you the video. That's it.
I can do that.
Yep.
Just give me one
No problem,
second.
Sarge. Thanks. Yeah. Yep.
This is me, my name,
Okay.
Shield, my email, and then just so
Yep.
I know you said you had it. But
All right, I appreciate it. The Journal Affairs. Okay. Yeah, I'll shoot you over the information.